everyone. Thank you for being here on this very important day. It is so awesome to see so many AmeriCorps volunteers here in this room. You all look awesome this Tuesday morning. Thank you for being with us today. And today I'm pleased to join with hundreds of mayors across the nation and great members of our city council here in Phoenix for recognizing today as the third annual Mayor's Day of Recognition for National Service. Today is a day of celebration and thanks, celebration of the women and men who have dedicated themselves to service through the AmeriCorps and Senior Corps programs, providing their passion and dedication to help address our community's most pressing needs. It is one thing to write a big check to support an organization. It is something even better to give of your time, your energy, your sweat equity to get it done. That's what AmeriCorps is all about. That's what our Senior Corps program is all about. Phoenix is committed to strengthening our relationship with the Corporation for National and Community Service, an agency of the federal government, by expanding our AmeriCorps Vista program, which continues to serve residents throughout Phoenix in so many wonderful areas. The corporation continues to invest millions of dollars and thousands and thousands and thousands of service hours in our city. Wendy Spencer, the CEO of the Corporation for National Community Service, will share her views in just a few moments. Thank you for being here in Phoenix on this very important day. Just one example of how this program has helped Phoenix is our Cities of Service Love Your Block grant that we just received, funded by the Cities of Service and the Corporation for National Community Service. It includes $30,000 in funding, but more importantly, 2 dedicated AmeriCorps Vista members for 3 years, helping to improve Phoenix neighborhoods across our city. So I'm honored that to help lead this initiative, which will help create a mini grant program to low and moderate income neighborhoods throughout our city to fight blight, create community gardens, among many, many other projects. The money will make a difference, but the people are going to make even a bigger difference for neighborhoods across our city. So interested neighborhoods across our city, I encourage you to go to visit phoenix.gov/volunteer to find out more about the program, to take a quick survey. Tell us what you think about your Love Your Block means to you and your neighborhood. I'm also proud to say that our city, the City of Phoenix, is a charter member of the Employers of Service Initiative in partnership with Arizona State University, which creates a pathway to employment for those who have dedicated themselves to serving our community and our city and our country through national service organizations led by CNCS. Our city's employment applications now includes a box for national service alumni to check. That means if you dedicate your time to service, it can lead to great job opportunities for your future career. So we look forward to increasing the numbers of alumni who join our ranks in the future. We're going to hear from Wendy Spencer in just a moment. We're going to hear from the other members of our city council. I think officially we have a quorum of our council present because we love our AmeriCorps programs so much. This is Councilwoman Kate Gallego to my far left, Councilman Danny Valenzuela to my left, Councilwoman Laura Pastor, who represents Central Phoenix, Councilman Michael Nowakowski. Each will have the opportunity to say a few words about what the AmeriCorps program means to their districts and to our city. But without further ado, let me next bring to this podium. She could have been anywhere in the United States of America on this very special day, but she chose the greatest city in the United States of America to celebrate our AmeriCorps Vista program, and that is Wendy Spencer, CEO, Corporation for National and Community Service. Wendy.
Thank you so much, Mayor Stan. Thank you so much. It's great. It's great to be here. It really is. And I could have chosen any city. Now, I'll be with Mayor Giles in Mesa also, but we won't tell him that we said we were only, he's not special too, but second favorite city. You know, it's still in Arizona, which is great. You know, I have had the fortune to read the bios of these fabulous elected officials behind me, and I'm going to report that Phoenix is in good hands. All of you have a connection to service, every one of you. Your backgrounds, what you're currently serving in, how you're committing to this community, and I love seeing that in elected officials, so I really appreciate your leadership. You know, Mayor's Day is pretty exciting. Now, let me tell you a little bit of background by this. Mayor Nutter from Philadelphia, this was his idea. I went to see him. He was the first mayor I visited when I started this job 3 years ago this week. He was the first mayor I visited, and he said, Wendy, here's what we're going to do. We're going to make sure that mayors around the country have an opportunity to thank AmeriCorps members, thank Senior Corps volunteers, thank the volunteers that serve alongside them. I said, that's a brilliant idea. And I got back to the office and I said, I just hope we have 300 mayors across the country that do this. You know, that would be success in my book if we got 300 great mayors to talk about how important national service is in their communities. That first year we had 832 mayors. The second year we had 1,760. This year we have almost 2,700 mayors and now county officials that have proclaimed this support for AmeriCorps and Senior Corps. It's the largest coalition of mayors around any issue ever that we can find. I'm going to continue to say that until someone corrects me. And both the U.S. Conference of Mayors and the National League of Cities agrees with me that there's never been an issue that mayors have rallied around together collectively around the country. And isn't that appropriate that we get our mayors and our county and city leaders behind something that can unify our country and that service is the unifying factor? I really think it's something that bonds us together as America, and it's what's unique about America. It's how we were founded, about citizen participation, and I'm just thrilled that we're still celebrating that. Mayor's Day was so popular last year that the county leaders said, we want in too. And we're jealous. We also appreciate AmeriCorps and Senior Corps. And so now we've got hundreds of county leaders joining in. And then I saw on the list a couple of United States senators and Congress members. So I welcome everybody. It's just great. I'm not going to stop it, but it's really great. You're in good hands with my team here. You've got Kimberly Will is here. Kimberly right here. Neil is here. And also Jacqueline, a mighty team of three that really represents us in the state of Arizona from, I actually would love to have my office here because the weather is fantastic right now. I know it's this kind of weather year-round here because the Chamber of Commerce told me so, but, and I'd love to have an office here year-round. But anyway, Kimberly's doing an excellent job in leadership. And you've got another partner that's very, very special here. And we have 53 of these around the country, 53 state governors' commissions on volunteerism. And you're in fabulous hands with Bob Sjogren as the director of the Governor's Commission on Volunteerism. And Erica's here as well. So, Bob, thank you for your commitment. We are pleased to partner with you. And you're the keeper of all things good with AmeriCorps as well. And also very innovative service thinker and provider as well with Bob. He's always coming up with great ideas. Now, I don't know Michael Hammett, but I want to say hello to Michael. Michael, I hear you're doing great things too, so thank you very much for your commitment. Glad I get to meet you. So our commitment today in Phoenix is pretty big. Today we have 716 AmeriCorps or Senior Corps participants serving. Senior Corps and Senior Companion Program, Foster Grandparents, or RSVP. Here in the city, it's a financial investment of $7.2 million from our agency, which includes about $4 million in college scholarships that will be awarded to the AmeriCorps members when they complete their term of service satisfactorily. And most AmeriCorps members complete their college or use the education scholarship to pay back student loans in the communities they serve in. Most. Some leave and do it in other places around the country. But most of this investment will be invested in the colleges right here in Phoenix, so I'm pleased with that. The match here is important. This is not a federal handout. This is a federal partnership. So every grant that we provide is matched at the local level with philanthropic contributions, with corporate contributions, with fundraisers, the good old-fashioned way. And I'm pleased to report that you've got about $900,000 invested today in these 716 AmeriCorps members and Senior Corps members. So, Mayor, that's a really good showing of support from the local community. It's very strong, and it shows that you really do care about investing in AmeriCorps and Senior Corps here in the community. So, I want to name a couple of programs we have here today. The Arizona Teaching Fellows, the Notre Dame AmeriCorps program, Equal Justice Works, PlayWorks, Public Allies, Teach for America, very prominent. Teach for America, they're all in schools right now, so as they should be. the Arizona State University program, which is great. Experience Matters, Hands-On Greater Phoenix. And then the Foster Grandparent Senior Companion RSVP program from the Northern Arizona University. Great program. And I had the opportunity to be here last week as well for the White House Conference on Aging that was held here, one of the regional meetings. And I was able to be introduced by Rhonda Hollis, who is a senior companion, and with our senior companion program. And Rhonda is a very committed citizen. She really is the unique bond between 6 families, 6 individuals who are frail and elderly, and she is helping them stay in their home because she visits them every week, and she's able to give some respite to the family members who they're living with. And that sometimes alone is the difference between an elderly person who may be ill or frail staying in their home or staying in a loved one's home while the loved ones are working, that companionship on a regular basis. So Rhonda is a very caring individual, and she's a proud representative of the Senior Companion Program. I also had the opportunity to meet AmeriCorps Vistas from the Maricopa Integrated Health System here, and they were fantastic. And they're working on refugee resettlement. And you have a large refugee population, I think about, as I recall, about 3,500 a year coming into Phoenix. And they oftentimes need services, and they need connections to jobs, and they need connections to healthy future. And that's what these VISTA members are doing. They are working very closely with these refugees and helping them become independent, if you will. And that independence means a lot of things. It means that they know how to get into doctor's appointments and focus on their health. They know how to connect to education opportunities. They are connected to jobs. And that's what these AmeriCorps Vistas are doing. That's God's work, people, when you are connecting people who need it most to become an independent family or individual who's leading a family. So I'm really pleased with that particular program. I could go on and talk about all the programs, but I'm just so pleased that Phoenix has embraced national service as a solution to some of the key issues here in the community. And you've got great leadership behind me, the mayor leading the way, and the city council members of also being great leaders of service. And I'm just pleased that I could spend the day here celebrating all that you do, AmeriCorps members, VISTA members, Senior Corps members. This is about you and an opportunity to thank you for your commitment of service. This is a year of sacrifice for all of you. You could be anywhere right now, but you're serving your nation by serving Phoenix. And let's give a round of applause for all of the AmeriCorps and Senior Corps. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Wendy, so much for being here. And there's over 700 AmeriCorps Vista volunteers. We want every single one of them, when you're completed with your time with AmeriCorps, to stay here in Phoenix, because you know what? These are the leaders of the future of this community. Business leaders, political leaders, nonprofit leaders, foundation leaders, faith leaders, whatever it be. I smell leadership, and we need that here in Phoenix. And yes, this is one issue, supporting America, that unites mayors across the country. The only thing that probably unites us more is complaining about Congress. But this is the one program out of Washington that we love so much. So we very much appreciate that. So there probably is one thing that unites us even more. As you mentioned, each of the members of the council who are here, each of them are people who are committed to this community. Not a single one of them does it for the money, but for love of this city, and they appreciate this program so very much. I want to come to bring to the podium first the council member who among those who are here is our senior council member, both in age and service, Councilman Michael Nowakowski.
Thank you. I don't know. Thank you, Mayor. Well, first of all, I really want to thank our mayor for being that leader within the community, not only on a local level, but on a national level. It's so important to recognize those individuals that help build our community, that volunteer, that sacrifice on a daily basis. I work for a nonprofit organization called the Cesar Chavez Foundation, and we had last year about 50 Vista AmeriCorps volunteers throughout our organization. And let me tell you, it was incredible. Going to our affordable housing complexes, we created a Si Se Puede, Yes We Can program, and those programs changed the lives. It was an after-school programs. where the Vista AmeriCorps volunteers actually lived right there on the sites. They were role models every day, but then when the kids would come home after school, they were there to teach them. They were there to help them. They were there to help them with a computer lab that they didn't even know that they had. They didn't have computers in their own homes, so these Vista AmeriCorps volunteers taught them how to use a computer. And you know, I believe that it's through education that we're going to end the cycle of poverty, domestic violence, and gang violence. And I just really want to thank you all. That A, I know, represents AmeriCorps, but I believe it represents angels that we have throughout this whole country. So thank you for being those angels to the most needy and to the people that really need those angels. So thank you so much. And Wendy, thank you for being the main angel out there. And I'll introduce our biggest volunteer, Kate Gallegos.
Thank you. Happy Mayor's Day of Service. It is so exciting that we have the CEO of the Corporation for National and Community Service with us here in Phoenix. And very exciting. She is the first woman to lead the corporation. So I have had the pleasure of following her career for many years. I serve on the Governor's Commission on Service and Volunteerism. And years ago, after the hurricanes in Louisiana, we were down for part of a national service conference, which also included a service component. And Wendy was then the CEO in Florida and did a great panel on how AmeriCorps helps with disaster response. And I'm so glad I heard that panel, because when we had flooding last year, it was great to know we had the tool in Phoenix to reach out to AmeriCorps and say, we're going to need some help rebuilding. So thank you to Wendy for doing such an interesting panel that I remembered it so many years later. Things happen in mysterious ways, but it is amazing what AmeriCorps has helped do for our entire country and this community. I have the pleasure of having an AmeriCorps Vista in my office, Kara, who has been involved in so many of the big things that we've worked on over the past year, including the Equal Pay Initiative that just helped pass the City Council unanimously 2 weeks ago. Kara is so dedicated to AmeriCorps. She's actually in her second tour with AmeriCorps, previously serving with Catholic Charities, working with the refugee community, and she's continued that work with the refugee community in our office, which has been really important. As mentioned earlier, we have a strong refugee community here, and she's been working with the Somali community in particular. I know that's on our mind very much throughout the world after what's happened, the tragedy in Kenya and the continuing conflict in Somalia. And with Kara's help, we were able to nominate another AmeriCorps Vista, Ilias, for the Governor's Volunteer Service Award. So very glad to have Bob and Debbie here. They have made history this year. A week from Friday, it will be the first time in Arizona that a refugee will win the Governor's Volunteer Service Award. And the timing could not have been more powerful. So thank you so much for that important recognition. It means a lot to our community here in Phoenix and to the Somali community, because it's a young man who's being recognized for his service with the Somali community, giving back, teaching English to people, helping them understand what skills you need to get a job. And he has given so much to the people of Phoenix and to the Somali community. So thank you to AmeriCorps for supporting him with a stipend, and thank you to the Governor's Office for giving him that well-deserved recognition. Service is making such a difference for us in Phoenix, and we are so glad to have great partners at the national level, Kim and Wendy. We look forward to continue to expand this relationship. With that, I will introduce another person who understands personally the value of national service, Vice Mayor Danny Valenzuela.
I appreciate the opportunity to speak. You know, service is, I believe the word serve, personally, is the most important word, the most meaningful word in the English dictionary next to love. It's the foundation of what we do. It's a foundation of what I personally do. I'm also a Valley firefighter, and I will tell you that the foundation and my approach to every day, whether I'm getting on a fire truck or putting on a tie to come here to City Hall, the foundation is the same. It's to serve. It's to make it better. I couldn't imagine showing up to someone's home on a fire truck and not making it better, and not using the tools that we have to make it better for those that need help. And it's that same approach that I again, coming to City Hall with. It's truly to serve. That's the foundation of everything that I do, that we should all do. And Wendy mentioned her powerful team of 3, and I have to tell you, the influence of District 5, the influence of these neighborhoods in Central and West Phoenix, and frankly, the influence of every policy that I am blessed and have the privilege to touch citywide, has the influence of service. It has the influence of integrity and humility and work ethic, and but especially District 5. We have, my powerful team of 3 is no stranger to service. Bithya Ratnasamy, who could not be here today, but Bithya has experience with this particular organization, and of course Vanya Guevara, who's here with us today, who was with me from day one, from the first day that we actually knocked on a door to get the responsibility to represent this district in office, and it's been in this office since day one. She's an alum with this particular organization. So when you see many of the programs that are happening in District 5, you mentioned community gardens, but it goes beyond community, although that is incredibly important. It goes beyond that. It has an influence. It has, it's been touched by this organization, and it's great that you were here so that I can tell you that personally. So I appreciate that. We also have Nikki Hicks, who is here with the Transportation Department with the City of Phoenix. Nikki is formerly with Councilman Michael Johnson's office and is another alum. But there are so many alumni that are already here with the City of Phoenix. And so to hear our mayor, recognize this day, like many other mayors across the country, it's more than just acknowledging the organization and what you're doing on a national stage, but to thank all of the alum that are here, making it better for people every day in everyday life right here in the City of Phoenix and throughout the Valley and throughout our state. So thank you for being here. Thank you for giving us an opportunity to acknowledge you and the organization, and for all of, especially the volunteers and the city employees that are here with the City of Phoenix, that are alum. Thank you for your service. We know that it goes deeper than just clocking in at 8 o'clock and clocking out at 5 o'clock. It's who you are. And so we appreciate that. We appreciate you leading by example and showing the rest of us the way. And God bless you. No, no. We're all going to fight for the microphone now, because now, for those of us who didn't get the microphone, they're in trouble from Laura. Now, we have our colleague and our friend Laura Pastor is certainly, again, no stranger to service. It is great to have an educator on the Phoenix City Council. It's great to have someone. Now, we all believe in the importance of education. We are all champions for it, but to have an educator on the council is priceless. So that said, I want to welcome our council member from District 4, Laura Pastor.
So I'm going to be short and sweet. I want to thank you guys, because if it wasn't for you being part of AmeriCorps, our communities would not be changing. And your dedication to service is what we need within our city. The other piece is that AmeriCorps touched me in education. As you had stated earlier, TFA were a part of the community I was working in, an urban community where I was surrounded by 6 or 7 TFA members. And I had no clue what TFA was at the point. I had just graduated from college, went to go work, needed a job, and all of a sudden I became really good, close friends with these colleagues of mine. Then I became an honorary TFA member because I would go with them to their social events and also their trainings, and they were like, "Oh, you're a TFA teacher." I'm like, "No, I'm actually really a teacher." So AmeriCorps has hit me and District 4 in our community in many ways. As stated earlier, the refugee population, our community gardens that sit on Central and Indian School, within Phoenix Union High School, we have TFA members. Vista Corps is everywhere. And so it wouldn't be here of the dedication of all of you wanting to serve, but it also wouldn't be here for the belief of serving. And all I know in my family, we served from the very beginning, as a child all the way to where I am today. And that's all I know, is to serve. And so if you guys need anything, want to talk, need a project, I'm here to help, and I'm here to serve with you. So thank you for being here.
So we've had the local perspective, we've had the national perspective, and now it's time for the state perspective. One of our important partners here is the Governor's Office of Children, Youth, and Family, led by Debbie Moak, who has been a major advocate for AmeriCorps and civic engagement, helping veterans get back, and she's an educator herself, so please welcome Debbie Moak.
Well, thank you for having me. First of all, I want to say a wonderful congratulations on this day of service to Mayor Stanton. And I cannot wait to sit down with you, Ms. Wendy Spencer. So much I'm excited to talk to you about. Vice Mayor as well, thank you for having me and for all that you do. I'm so thrilled to the council to be here. To be able to give the state perspective. I am the substitute today for Governor Ducey. I believe wholeheartedly that I've been placed in this position to be the director of the Governor's Office for Children, Youth, and Families, in large part because of this. I have been a public servant all of my life. My first public service goes back to high school, where I volunteered 5 days a week as a senior in the afternoon at a school for kids with cerebral palsy. 3 of those young ladies became my first mentees as I served as their big sister. I went on to then work at that school for 2 years for kids with cerebral palsy. I've been an educator here in Scottsdale Public Schools, in the elementary schools. I've founded a nonprofit working with youth in the most challenging areas, the behavioral health areas of their life. Again, I so wholeheartedly embrace public service and recognize you on behalf of the governor. You know, I love getting to sit with the governor and his staff and talk about AmeriCorps. I don't know if you're currently aware, but a $2.4 million RFGA was released through the governor's office just last week. Thank you, AmeriCorps. Our amazing Bob Sjogren and Erica Schwartzman have spent the last couple of months meeting with anyone and everyone who represents the best partnership opportunities here in the great state of Arizona. It's amazing to look at the body of work that they've created, and that competitive grant process is open for application currently. It's exciting. Our staff and the governor's office, we're focused on many of the same things that you are focused on nationally. In addition to that, we have some particular areas of focus through our office. Substance abuse, we understand that it's a thread that runs through and impacts our community in so very many different ways. Civics education, graduation rates, human trafficking, domestic violence. Those are just a few of our major areas of focus from the governor's office. Again, I'm thrilled to be here, Mayor Stanton, and to recognize all of you for the amazing public servant work that you do, both here in the great state of Arizona and your national efforts. By the way, Wendy, I have supported personally a Teach for America teacher for years and will continue to do so. Again, on behalf of Governor Ducey, I want to recognize and thank all of you. We clearly, from the governor's office, understand that the state alone cannot fix the many issues and challenges. We're excited to work with amazing partners such as yourselves and move forward a public-private partnerships to advance some of the greatest issues in Arizona. So once again, congratulations, Mayor, and Wendy Spencer. Thank you for having me here today.
All right, so that closes out our announcement of the Mayor's Day of Recognition of National Service. Now the best part, it's all about you. Get up here, let's take a picture together. Come on up, come on up. Don't be shy.
After the event, 2 of the VISTA volunteers told us why they got involved.
I've been wanting to do VISTA for a while. I had a career counselor in college that told me about it, and it's sort of I sort of filed it away. It kept in the back of my mind, and then a few years later, I just thought I was doing journalism, and I thought, well, I really wanted to get into public service or government work or something like that. And I was looking for jobs, and I thought within AmeriCorps VISTA, and I thought that, well, it'd be really cool to do something where I could still use my skills, writing, communications, social media, all that stuff. And I didn't know that VISTA even had those kinds of jobs. And I was just sort of looking in a couple states, and I found one, and it was here with the refugee focus. And then when I looked at the organization and I saw their mission, and I saw that they wanted to help refugees, I just thought that was a really cool aspect of work, and it's something that I thought I wanted to get behind.
I know that there's a need in this state to help out our public schools. And so I just thought that it was a good fit, and I'm learning a lot about state government, and I work with the Governor's Commission on Service and Volunteerism, and I'm learning a lot from Bob Sjogren. And so I thought it was a really good opportunity for me to gain some skills for my own professional development and to do service, which was something that I had committed to for after I graduated from college.